Welcome back, Gary Cook speaking. There is much to comment upon at this time as my travels take me on the highways and byways of more ancient times. The journeys that I make within this land of New Zealand are pilgrimages, walking these special paths that take you from one important place to another. And as the wheels turn on the road and the boots step out on the trail, one is always aware of the immensity, the sheer splendour, the strength that is found at every turn of the many roads throughout this land of Aotearoa, New Zealand. And what can one say of the personal experiences that occur, the wonder and the inspiration laid at your feet by the many people you meet on the way, touching heart to heart, breath to breath, soul to soul. Our individual journeys are in the now, the present. It is a constant progress that is happening second by second, minute by minute, day by day, ever moving within the present, that in the blink of the eye has become the past, seeking that elusive future that always beckons from just around the next corner. As we sleep, we travel within other realms, and when awake, we have the will and the way to make every step and every minute of every day so important and meaningful. Our journey into destiny is full on, 24 hours a day. The trick of coping with all of this incredible input is to be selective and focused in what we acknowledge as being important to our souls. To learn to walk the middle path, being very much in the world but not of it. To widen one's view, to take in the wonder of the creation we see about us. And if we can be selective with what we view, the outer experience becomes very much one of a deeper inner experience. The story I'm sharing with you now will give you an insight into some of my personal beliefs and understanding from travels I've made throughout New Zealand and indeed other parts of the world, seeking that which was placed by the hand of man and that which nature projects and lays on the landscape in an incredible array of shape and form. Two diverse aspects, but each with very subtle messages. So once again, I'm on another outward journey, following in the footsteps of the many who have gone before. And when we walked on the Peace Trail, following the journey of the stone, the green stone, the Pouanamu, the peace stone, spoken of with reverence in many different ways and different tongues, I had returned to the beginning of the Peace Trail on the Arahura River on the west coast of the South Island of New Zealand to spend some time at the start of the Greenstone Trail, reliving the times that we journeyed across the trail. The special pathway through the mountains to the eastern side of the range takes one onward to Te Kohanga, in the birthplace of the gods, at a place today called Castle Hill. Now, I had watched the sunrise at Lake Kaineri as the early morning light touched the snow-topped mountains with a blush of pink. This is truly a place to lift the flagging spirit and imbue one with the energy required to walk and climb. I had not ventured far in recent months following a minor accident that resulted in a pair of cracked ribs. So I was full of joy to be walking once again upon the ancient trails of the South Island of New Zealand, to regain some of the energy I was lacking after recent events, and to feel the spirit rise as the sights and sounds of these special places once more enveloped me. The snow glistened and crunched underfoot. The wee streams chuckled and sang. The river, the Arohura, roared in icy blue splendour. And as I walked, ice-topped pools lay at my feet, creating a myriad of shapes and forms, as sun and shadow recorded very temporary images captured in the frozen waters. I could not help but relate the patterns to those of crop circles, although these free-form features did not display the geometry of the circles. Instead, I was presented with organic shapes and forms that changed over the hours as the sun moved over the icy surfaces, sculpting and shaping subtle messages. How can one not take notice, as the power of nature uses the subtlest of ways to capture our attention? I consider these symbols and signs to be messages just as important as any written word, or anything indeed inscribed on a stone. There are many places in this land where universal messages were left by the ancient ones to inform those that came after of certain events that occurred that seriously impacted on their lives. So often these events enable these early folk to mark and evaluate time and season. These records of personal and supernatural occurrences are etched in wood and stone, or painted on the walls of rock shelters and overhangs. Cereal crop circles, as seen in the UK, have over the past 30 years or so come into great prominence, providing much in the way of information, as well as disinformation, depending on who is doing the interpreting. So with the advent of man-made circles, this is where disinformation came in. A few years ago, we had the experience of walking with the many circles in the south of England. I well remember the feeling associated with a genuine circle as opposed to one that had been man-made. There was a noticeable difference. And this all comes back to me as I was gazing in wonder at the ice-topped pools of water on the side of the path alongside the Arohura River. Here again was nature at its best, drawing my attention away from the stony track. My backpack load of cameras and tripod, my attention, indeed, my focus was drawn to the patterns at my feet. To some, these patterns would need to be interpreted to provide an answer as to how and why. My personal feeling and interpretation is that we are surrounded at all times by natural messages and stories that hold both hope and understanding. Messages that are so simple to see if we can but put the intellect and the mind to one side, thus opening ourselves to the possibility that we are not alone on this journey, that we are part of the natural order and therefore can read meanings into the many wonders that nature reveals. So this is very much the way we are seeing the work of Hamish Miller when he came to New Zealand and he doused powerful energy places in this country. The wonder of what this British master dowser had revealed is not only adding to the mystery of our land, but is bringing many minds together to ponder on possible meanings of the symbols that emerged from the subsurface energy flows. Thus, within the natural order are to be found many signs and perhaps messages that are in need of interpretation. I'm still excited at the prospect of what appears to be a series of events that is bringing symbols to the fore. I'm convinced that we are looking at subtle messages that have yet to be understood. And these signs within nature, for this is surely what they are, have a message for which we need to create a new language. And my understanding is that these natural symbols are new in the way they are being presented, and therefore need to be understood in a context that is far removed from our present understanding, or lack of it for that matter. So of the painted or carved symbols left by ancient people, do we really know what they mean? We can suppose, but have we really looked close enough? There are new paradigms at work here, and they embrace aspects of the broad science of quantum physics, of parallel universes, and other dimensions of understanding. And this exciting prospect of delving deeper into the mathematical and geometric matrix of this hidden world of signs and symbols is indeed challenging, but at the same time very uplifting, as one suspects that interpretations will contain timeless messages and indicators that have been placed for a purpose, to satisfy the intellect and to once again promote a deeper inner and spiritual response that will guide us on the path of our true purpose, that of self-realization and spiritual awareness. One may also promote the possibility of misdirection to take us away from true purpose, to undermine organized religion, to bring us back to primitive beliefs. This is far from the truth. We will all become stronger and more committed with the understanding that all life in every shape and form, from every rock and weed, vibrates and resonates in harmony with each and every other being on this planet. Indeed, we live in a golden age of reason. We have the time and the capacity to rise above the mundane that prevails, and to look for ourselves and seek our own understanding of these natural yet subtle messages. We have to make the time to sit and look closely, more so than we've ever done before, to look deeply into that which is all around us, to seek the places of powerful earth energies, to look into the heart of a flower, to listen to a tree or a plant sing, to watch the butterfly, an unfettered flower, glide around the garden, to look at one's reflection in a raindrop, to gasp with pleasure at the beauty of the rainbow. Messages and signs surround us. We have but to open our eyes to see them. Once again, thank you so much for being with me in the fairy glade in the forest of Rivahaven at home. going over notes and past journeys I've made, and finding that many of my observations a long time ago are so relevant today, even more so today. And so this is why I'm now sharing these things with you. So I hope you enjoy the series that I am going to be bringing to you of travels through this land, travels through what is possible, travel through a world of possibilities. Until we meet again, I say adieu, adieu. God bless you all. I so love you in Facebook land. Bye for now.